the number one reason why we do not change, break through, and transform. It's Kute here, nationally best-selling author of The Magic of Surrender, and you are the one. Make sure you hit the like button below. We all have those things in our lives that we want to shift, change, transform, that we would like to be different. Maybe there's patterns and addictions and ways of being, or things we even want to manifest. And many of us, we have the information, we have the knowledge, we know what to do, we've read the books, we've gone to the seminars, we've listened to the podcasts, we've gone to the webinars, we've got the certifications, and yet we still struggle to shift, break through, and manifest what we say we want. We want to manifest a healthy body, greater health, vitality. We want to manifest more love and abundance and a soulmate in our life. We want to manifest more money and prosperity. We want to manifest more joy, bliss, happiness. And even though we know what to do, why is it that so often our actions, our life, our results are actually counter to what we say that we want? Here's the thing, just wanting something, wishing for it, liking for it, isn't enough to break through, shift, and transform your life. One of the main things that stops people from transforming, and this is after 20 years of working with people deeply, one-on-one, working with small groups and large groups and, every cross-section of humanity, one of the main reasons I've seen that people don't transform is actually quite simple. At the deepest root level, we actually don't want to. Now you might say, Kute, that sounds crazy. Of course I want to transform. Of course I want a healthy body. Of course I want a soulmate. Of course I want love. Of course I want money and abundance and joy. But if you say you want it, if you have been intending it and you still don't have it, likely there is something inside of you that actually doesn't want it. And a first step to a breakthrough, a first step to a shift, is the willingness to get honest and to acknowledge the deep, true, authentic, sincere, maybe difficult reason as to why you do not want that thing. So ask yourself, why do I actually not want it? Why do I actually not want love? Why do I actually not want abundance and money and prosperity? Why do I actually want to be poor? Why do I want to be single? Why do I want to be unhealthy? Now, as crazy as it sounds, when you're able to acknowledge the deeper counter intention, which is often unconscious, you begin to bring yourself into relationship and bring what's unconscious to conscious awareness, then you begin to end and shift the internal resistance inside of you. So, why do I want to be poor? Why do I want to be unhappy? Why do I want to be miserable? Why do I want to stay stuck? One of the main reasons that we stay stuck is we are simply not committed. We really are not committed. We would like it, it would be nice, but we are not truly committed. If I were to take your head right now and put it underwater, and I were to literally dunk your head underwater for a minute, 2 minutes, 3 minutes, what would you want more than anything else? Seriously, think about it. What would you want more than anything else? You wouldn't want chocolate. You wouldn't want champagne. You wouldn't want Rolls Royces and Bugattis and big homes and fame and, Instagram likes. The only thing that you would want more than anything else in that moment with your head underwater, struggling to breathe, is air. You would want air with every part of you. You would want air with every intention, every cell, every fiber of your being. You would want to breathe. When you want to shift, when you want that breakthrough, when you want to transform, when you want what you say you want more than anything else, all parts of you in alignment, coherent, nothing can stop it. You begin to activate the inner resources inside of you. So ask yourself, why do you actually not want that? Because many times we have counter intentions. Many times there is an unconscious payoff for why we stay stuck. Let me repeat. There is an unconscious payoff for why we stay stuck. Sometimes there is a deep fear. of if I really, for instance, if I really transform my body, if I really get healthy, and I might actually be attractive, I might look pretty, I might attract the opposite sex, and that can be scary for whatever reasons, from childhood, abuse, fear, and whatever we've been taught subconsciously or consciously by our parents. There might be a deep fear of truly transforming and breaking through and being your best self. If I truly let my light shine, if I truly shift the pattern of addiction and free myself and be happy and alive and vibrant and live my purpose and fulfill my potential, then what would that mean for my relationship? Because I see my partner not growing, I see my partner not evolving, and so many times unconsciously there is an internal conflict in terms of going for what we really want, because there's a deeper fear of, what would happen if I really shifted? What would that mean? What would the consequence in my life be? What would the consequence in my life be? Seriously. And we're often not thinking of these things. Like, if I really transformed, maybe I'd have to face the fact that the current structure of my relationship would no longer work because I would so outgrow my partner. And so many of us, unconsciously, we sabotage success, we sabotage transformation, we sabotage health and vitality, we sabotage our full potential in order to keep ourselves in a structure, in a framework, in a relationship, to keep ourselves small, in order to keep the familiarity, the comfort zone of what we have and what we know. We're afraid of being all that we can be. Deep down, we're afraid of being fully magnificent, fully expressed, because of what we're actually fearing that might mean. So, what is the real deep reason? And what is the deep fear that you have not acknowledged? The fear of the perceived consequence that you think might happen if you truly transformed. Because if you want what you say you want more than anything else, nothing will stop it. Nothing will stop it. And so, the first step, begin to acknowledge your unconscious payoffs for staying stuck. Begin to acknowledge what you're afraid of and begin to tell the truth. One of the keys to facilitate breakthroughs and move you in that direction is the willingness to get really raw, real, honest, and sincere about the lies that you're telling yourself. If you start there, begin there, and you start moving in the direction of your deepest truth, it's then that you can begin to make shifts. You see, when we're faced with the possibility of changing, the ego, our sense of self, the ego is who we identify ourselves to be based on name, body, form, past history, experiences, memories, childhood, successes, failures, emotions, feelings that has gotten reinforced by life and society and friends and family and parents and childhood and everything in our lives. Ego, which is a process of identification, who we perceive ourselves to be, who we identify ourselves to be. Our ego is afraid of change. And so when we set the intention for change, set the intention for breakthroughs, often what we are faced with is resistance. It's the ego that resists change. It's the ego that puts the block on and often sabotages us, because the ego's job is to reinforce its existence, and the ego's job is to protect you and keep you safe, to ensure that you don't feel the pain of perhaps what happened when you were younger. Because ego was created, the sense of ourselves was often created as a certain pattern of conditioning from childhood in response to our environment, in response to our parents, in order to keep us safe. What we have to realize is that ego, this sense of what we have identified ourselves to be, ego is not who you are. Ego is not what you are. Ego is just a pattern of conditioning that we identify with. And so it's not necessary to force yourself to even shift. It's not necessary to fight your resistance. Resistance is a natural part of the process. So the other thing that you can learn to do is, when you're in the process of shifting and transforming, embrace your ego, embrace resistance. No need to judge, no need to fight, no need to force transformation. Simply meet your resistance, embrace your resistance, love your resistance, welcome your resistance. Meet your resistance with loving compassion and understanding. And when you can meet your resistance with a whole new relationship, meet your resistance with loving and compassion and kindness and tenderness and understanding, it's the loving, it's the compassion that facilitates healing. And then those parts of you that are afraid of shifting, those parts of you that are afraid of transforming, those parts of you that are afraid of breaking through, can begin to relax. And so, change is a natural part of life. If you're not evolving, if you're not changing, if you're not growing, you're dying. And so if you're in a point in your life where you're dissatisfied and you feel it's time for a breakthrough, congratulations. So acknowledge what the unconscious payoff for staying stuck is, and shift your relationship with your resistance so that you can meet yourself with loving and compassion. And get clear on your unwavering commitment to what you say you want. Folks, I hope you enjoyed this short video. Make sure you subscribe to this YouTube channel. You can also go to my website, kuteblackson.com, enter your name and your email to receive weekly updates. Love now.